Here it is, tax time again, and again we are bombarded with all sorts of tax manuals. How to save on taxes, taxes and your tennis game, buy a third world country and pay no taxes, and honey, I shrunk the deficit. Wow, we're sweating grapefruits over 1040s and 1099s. Ponder these trite and sometimes true I.R.S. tidbits. The Internal Revenue Service was created by Congress in 1789 to assess and collect domestic or internal taxes. The I.R.S. is an agency of the U.S. Department of the Treasury and is headquartered in Washington, D.C. Washington's former mayor, videotaped while using drugs with a prostitute, was convicted of felony narcotics crimes, after which he was re-elected to office. When notorious gangster Al Capone eluded racketeering and murder charges after lengthy in-depth investigations by police and the FBI, he was sent to prison for owing money to the I.R.S. The head of the I.R.S., a commissioner appointed by the President of the United States, has never been identified and therefore accepts no responsibility for the functions of his or her department. The I.R.S. operates under rules set forth in the Internal Revenue Code. No one on earth has ever understood the Internal Revenue Code, which this year, for the first time, is available in the swimsuit edition. The I.R.S. offers taxpayers assistance through a toll-free telephone service. That service rings to a telephone located in the I.R.S. basement garage and is traditionally answered by anyone who happens to pass by. Jimmy Hoffa owed money to the I.R.S. April 15th has been established as the tax return filing deadline. Other tragedies on this date include the sinking of the Titanic and the death of Abraham Lincoln. The I.R.S. maintains regional offices around the country staffed with people who have no fingerprints. The United States Constitution asserts that every U.S. citizen is presumed innocent until proven guilty. The I.R.S. asserts every U.S. citizen must pay taxes until they are presumed dead, and sometimes beyond that. Amelia Earhart owed money to the I.R.S. The complete speech by astronaut Neil Armstrong, as he placed the first human footprint on the moon, is, "This is one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind, and one huge mileage deduction for me." Saddam Hussein owed money to the I.R.S. The I.R.S. periodically reviews citizens' tax liabilities through an accounting process called auditing. I.R.S. audits, according to the Surgeon General, are incurable and a leading cause of dementia. George Armstrong Custer owed money to the I.R.S. U.S. citizens outraged at unfair and complicated tax laws pressured legislators into amending the Internal Revenue Code. As a result, in 1986, Congress passed the Tax Reform Bill. After a dozen years of careful study, experts have determined the 1986 Tax Reform Bill can never be translated into English, as the language in which it was written remains unknown. Tiger Woods owed money to the I.R.S. In the beginning, God created paradise, in which man and woman were to dwell in joy and peace all of their days. Then Satan, jealous of the paradise forever denied him, engaged the Lord's attention with an audit and created from the bowels of the infernal abyss the beast he named Taxman. Satan unleashed it upon the land, charging in a voice thick with fire and sulfur. Go forth, multiply, scrutinize, deny, compound, confound, and penalize. Thus, woe and sorrow were loosed upon the earth in those tumultuous ancestral days before filing became electronic.